Hello, all you fine wrestling fans, and welcome back to another installment of Wrestling with My Sanity. Today, we are going to be talking about the Royal Rumble, what we think will happen, everything that may or may not go down, and we will be predicting each of the four matches. So, coming off another what I thought was good week of WWE television so far with Monday Night Raw, and then NXT was pretty good as well this week. We just got some news that Triple H is actually going to be the headliner in the 2025 Hall of Fame class. So good on him. I honestly didn't even know he wasn't in there. I knew he was in with DX, but I just assumed, I guess, that he was in there as a singles. So congratulations to Triple H. Well deserved. The guy's single handedly kind of reviving WWE with his creative decisions as of late. So super excited to see that. And with that, guys, we are going to get into our Royal Rumble predictions. So we'll cover the first two matches, the non-Royal Rumble matches first, just because we're not going to take as much time covering these. But the first one we will talk about will be the DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns. This is supposed to be, they said, a 2 out of 3 falls match. So I'm assuming this is going to be a pretty lengthy match. I do expect DIY to retain here. I wouldn't be shocked, though, if they gave the belts back to the Motor City Machine Guns. But knowing Hunter, he loves DIY. Obviously, I think he very much respects Motor City Machine Guns, too, being a newer team that just came in and being in TNA and these other promotions for so long. Wouldn't be shocked if Motor City Machine Guns won, but I am going to say that DIY wins this. It'll probably be a long match. They'll both get one fall, obviously, and then I'm assuming DIY will win in some sort of very dramatic fashion. But I am going to pick DIY as the winners of this match. And then for our next match, it is Cody versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Undisputed title, as well as the Winged Eagle belt that Kevin's been carrying around, saying that he's the true WWE Winged Eagle champion or whatever the hell he's been spewing. So this match, guys, is probably the most predictable of the night by far. If Cody lost here, I would be shocked, although I would kind of like to see it just because Kevin's been doing great work, I think. But I don't think there's a reason to take the belts off of Cody here. I mean, he won it last year, finally beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 and going into this Royal Rumble event and then really kicking off WrestleMania season here over the next weekend. I think Cody's going to hold on to it, and then we'll talk about what could be coming out of this from the Royal Rumble here in the future. But this should be another great match. Uh, I fully expect there to be some chicanery and hobnobbery going on out there. I wouldn't be shocked if both guys have color by the end of it and are bleeding. I know Triple H doesn't like to use blood that much, but in a match like this, that's gotten as personal as it has with their feud over the last couple weeks, I wouldn't be shocked to see Kevin Owens busted open somehow after taking some crazy ladder bump. You know Kevin Owens, he's going to do something absolutely absurd. He's going to either jump off of a scaffolding, fall through a table, off of a ladder, get hit with the ladder, freaking coming 1,000 miles at his face or something like that. So don't clip that. That sounded disgusting. Coming 1,000 miles at your face. Jesus Christ, I got to watch what I say on here. PG. That ain't even PG. But I do think Cody Rhodes is going to come away with the victory here, guys. This should be another great match. Both matches, I think, are very inducive of what the new WWE system and under Triple H's regime is. I think these are going to be two very good matches. The gimmick match will obviously have probably some kind of interference somehow, but I fully expect Cody to come down with both of those belts and be the winner. So thus far, we have DIY retaining and Cody Rhodes retaining. And then we get on to our two Royal Rumble matches where this is the fun part, guys, because this year I have no idea what is going to happen. We'll start with the women's because I assume that the women's Royal Rumble will probably either kick off the show or be the second match. That's the one thing I thought of with this card. It's kind of hard to get the match list together as far as what the order is going to be because you don't want to put your champion, your WWE Undisputed Champion, in the middle of the card. But at the same time, people go to this event and watch this event for the two Royal Rumble matches. So do you go women's Royal Rumble and then sandwich the title match somewhere in there? I don't love that just for the sake of the prestige of the title. And obviously, it's not going to be the main event. The main event is going to be the men's Royal Rumble match, barring them bringing back somebody crazy like an AJ Lee or somebody like that for the women. If they do that, guys, if we kick off the show and they say the women are main eventing the pay per view, I would fully expect something absolutely insane to happen. But where do you put this match? I mean, I would probably have it kick off the show just because, like I said, I don't want it to be sandwiched between the two Royal Rumble matches. I mean, it is your heavyweight, your not heavyweight, but world title at the end of the day, your WWE Championship. So I'd have this kick off the show and then maybe follow it up with the Women's Rumble. Then do the tag match as kind of the letdown match. Like that's going to be in a hard spot anyway because you're either going to be between two Rumble matches or you're going to be between the WWE Undisputed title match and whatever the main event is, whether that's the men or women's Royal Rumble. So that tag match, they're going to have to really deliver from an in-ring perspective because that's kind of in that letdown fall off spot where people are going to be probably exhausted at that point, running to the bathrooms, going to the merch tables, all the stuff like that. So we'll see how they book it. But getting into the Royal Rumble, the women's Royal Rumble match first, guys, I think I will kind of go through here. I will pick final fours for each of them, and I will pick sentimental favorites for who I think I want to win, and then who I think will actually win for both. For the women, I'm expecting, as per usual under Triple H, I'm expecting more surprises than the men's Royal Rumble. We've already gotten Charlotte announced. We have gotten um, teased with some other people, some TNA people coming in. Jordan Grace was saying on Twitter that she is hosting her father's like 55th birthday or something like that. But a lot of this stuff this time of the year is just a ruse. So I fully expect Jordan Grace to be in the Rumble. Charlotte will be there. We know that. We've obviously gotten the women who have declared. In our Bailey, we got Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair. Naomi's in there. So we got quite a few people that have declared so far. I think Nia Jax declared as well. Um, the final four guys is tough for this one because as far as returns go, outside of Charlotte, who they've already announced, which as if you watched the last episode, I really like that, by the way. I like that they're announcing like one or two of the stars and then still you have a chance to bring in some other people as surprises. We don't need everybody to be a surprise on the day of. It's good if you announce some because then you can leave some speculation with other people. And it's another reason to tune into the event. If you're a big Charlotte Flair fan and you haven't seen her in a year plus, you're going to want to go to the event. You're going to want to buy a ticket for it. So good for them on that. Returns, guys. I think Alexa Bliss is very possible. I think Becky Lynch is pretty much a shoe-in. Like if Becky isn't in that, I would be shocked. To be honest with you, just because Becky Lynch, like that's one of the four horsewomen. She hasn't been seen in a while. As far as I believe, I think she just re-signed a new deal. I know Seth Rollins just re-signed with WWE like 6 months ago. So he's there. She's not going anywhere. Fully expect Becky Lynch to be back in this match. Alexa Bliss, a little less than. I know there were some rumors that she was having a contract dispute with WWE. They had froze her contract after her pregnancy, and she wanted to come back under a new deal for added years on it, making more money. And apparently they said no to that. They want to bring you back at what she was making, basically. So we'll see what that shakes out to be. Again, guys, I don't know if I believe that. I could see it being true. I could see it not being true. I know one thing. Triple H is very old school in the way that he likes to keep things surprises. I like to see CM Punk return at Survivor Series last year, stuff like that. Like he likes to keep things very under the vest, so to speak, to where he wants to throw you off the scent of somebody coming back and then bringing them back, and it's an even bigger deal. So I don't know if I believe that. I think Alexa will be in the Royal Rumble, and we might have some legends coming back. We might have our Trish Stratus annual appearance. We might have our Lita appearance. You might even get somebody like a Victoria who's been shown on sitting ringside at some of the events recently. You might see her. Nikki Bella, we've seen recently at the Raw and Netflix premiere, and I know she said she really misses being in the ring. Obviously, she's gone through some sloppy stuff with a divorce and all that crap that she's had going on in her outside life, which hopefully she's gotten sorted out by now. But could see Nikki Bella. I don't expect we'll see her sister Brie Bella. And I think the one that everybody here is talking about, guys, as a big possibility, does AJ Lee come back? If she does, I fully expect her to be in the bottom three. She'll be like 28, 29, or 30. But if she came back in Indianapolis, guys, I think it would blow the fucking roof off the place. It would be a huge deal. We haven't seen AJ Lee in so long. Obviously, she doesn't need to win the match, but this is one of those you can have her come in, you can have her be Final Four in the match, have a good showing for the time she's in there, and then still you can have your winner come out of that for whoever you want it to be to set up a match at WrestleMania. So AJ Lee would be the absolute dream. If we do get AJ Lee, I do not expect us to get Becky and Alexa back, because if you do that, it's kind of like a Randy Orton CM Punk thing at Survivor Series where you could bring a couple of them back. If you bring three main event talents back in the same match, it kind of AJ Lee kind of overshadows everything else. And then coming out of that event, we're wondering, oh, is AJ Lee going to be on Raw on Monday? Is AJ Lee going to show her face on NXT or SmackDown? And it kind of dampers what Alexa Bliss coming back and Becky Lynch coming back could and would do. So that is the longest shot, I think, guys. There's a chance it happens. I don't see it happening, unfortunately, though. So for my women's Royal Rumble, my predictions, I think the final four is going to be Charlotte Flair, who is returning. That's a pretty obvious one. I think she'll make it to the final four. The Queen, she has honestly a good chance of winning this. I was debating between her and a couple other women, but Charlotte Flair will be in the final four. I think Liv Morgan will once again make it to the final four. I don't think she will be the runner-up this time, just because she had a good title reign. I think her and Raquel are going to get the women's tag titles here at some point soon, and she was runner-up the last 2 years in a row. So I don't think you need to have Liv Morgan as one of the final two, but she will be in the final four. I fully expect. God, this is a tough one because I have Alexa in there because I do think Alexa will return. And for this final spot, guys, for the final four, it's a toss-up for me between Bianca and Becky. I think it will be Becky, though. I'm hoping it'll be Becky, and maybe something happens that kind of like pisses off Bianca, that kind of gives her that edge or reason to be pushed to turn heel at some point here soon, because I do, like I said, I want to see something different with Bianca. So that will be my final four. It is going to be Charlotte, it's going to be Liv, it's going to be Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. And I think of those four, I think Alexa Bliss is going to win it. Actually, I should say, I think Alexa, I don't know. I'll say Alexa Bliss is my sentimental pick. So Alexa Bliss is who I want to win it, because I want to see Alexa Bliss versus Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. I would love that. But I also know that people want Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. So I'm going to say my sentimental pick is Alexa Bliss. Who I think will probably win will be Charlotte Flair, which isn't going to get nearly... I mean, people still rag on Charlotte, I think, just because she got overpushed so much. I mean, she's already a 14-time women's champion, so she's kind of at that weird spot where Roman Reigns was in his career for a while, where he was just being pushed down everybody's throats. So if she can come back, kind of reinvent herself and do something different. I mean, Roman just completely changed everything and flipped the world on its head with the bloodline stuff once he joined with Paul Heyman, and his family joined with The Rock and had all that stuff at WrestleMania, which was fantastic. So I'm hoping that Charlotte can come back and do the same. Because I would love to see a different iteration of her character. So I do think that's going to be who they give it to, guys. I think it'll end up being Charlotte. And Charlotte will probably end up challenging Tiffany Stratton, I'm going to assume, because we've seen Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley, which has been fantastic. Every fucking match they've had. I mean, even going back to the COVID era where they had the fucking Thunderdome WrestleMania, their match when Rhea Ripley was NXT champion was fantastic. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Ripley versus Charlotte again, but it's going to be Charlotte versus Tiffany, I believe, if that happens. But I am really pulling for Alexa Bliss, guys. I mean, I think it would be a way bigger reaction if Alexa won, just because Charlotte's going to be very much of, we're giving it to Charlotte again, 14-time women's champion, rather than Alexa Bliss, who, if she comes back, I think it would be a bigger deal if she won it. So Alexa Bliss is who I want to win. Charlotte is who I think is going to win. And for the men's Royal Rumble match, this I fully expect, as I said, to be our main event for the night. This is going to be another interesting one, guys. We'll go through who potential returns could be in guys like Big E, who I think is a very outside shot because I don't know how healthy his neck is or if he's cleared yet. I think Big E would blow the roof off the place, though. That would be a huge return, especially if the two New Day members are going to be in there and Big E comes in and just fucking runs roughshod, clotheslines them both, bench presses Woods out of the ring. That would be awesome. Aleister Black, who is currently under the alias of Malachi Black in AEW, but his contract is supposedly coming to an end sometime in February. Whether that is the first of the month, I don't know. Another long shot here, guys. I think he might still be signed to AEW come the Rumble this weekend, but that would be cool if Aleister Black did come back. Randy Orton, who we haven't seen in a couple months here, I fully expect Randy Orton to be in there. I mean, with the stacked lineup they already have in there with Seth, Roman, John Cena, CM Punk, you have Jey Uso declaring, all these guys. I fully expect Randy Orton to be in there somewhere. Shit, guys, he may even come in at number 2 because I know they like to have the first 2. They usually have one of the first 2 as a surprise, but it's usually 2 of the guys that are going to last longer in the match come in at 1 and 2. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Randy Orton come in at number 2 or 3, something like that. So Randy Orton is a pretty safe bet, I think, as somebody that would be in there. If we are talking legends, I don't see a ton of legends being in there, guys. Maybe we get like what was I think it was 2014 when, what was it, Roman won, when everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win and The Rock came out afterwards. But I fully, maybe like a DDP or somebody could be in there. The Rock could show up, although very unlikely for the Rumble. I think The Rock would be pretty cool to see in the Royal Rumble. I don't think there's going to be many other legends that may show up. You might get a callback to, maybe you'll get a Booker T in there or somebody like he shows up because he calls NXT with Corey Graves and Vic Joseph now. So maybe you see Booker T in there. Crossovers with TNA. This could be interesting because you could bring in a guy like Ziggler, who's been there for a long time. And I've seen Ziggler wrestle live many times and always been a huge fan of his. So maybe you see a Dolph Ziggler show up. Joe Hendry you could see show up. I know we saw him have a pretty decent NXT run, and that was pretty awesome to see. So maybe you see Joe Hendry show up. And another big one, as far as a legend, old-timey WWE guy goes, WWF, the Hardys, namely Jeff Hardy, because I hate to say it, guys, nobody gives a fuck about Matt Hardy. At least I don't. I never have. Like, even watching Matt Hardy, I can name, like, 2 matches ever, and, like, both of them, I think, took place either as a tag match or the one feud with Edge that he had that was like a blood feud over Lita. But everybody wants to see Jeff Hardy, guys. Even going back to his days, like Jeff was always the more charismatic one. I don't want to rag on Matt Hardy too much here, but Matt Hardy, I think, was a better promo than Jeff. But at the end of the day, people bought the shit out of Jeff Hardy's merch, just his look, his style, his charisma, the way that he wrestled. I mean, growing up watching him do swantons off of freaking scaffoldings on top of Randy Orton and doing all these crazy high-flying maneuvers and stunts, Jeff Hardy would be a hell of a person to have in this men's Royal Rumble, guys. I think we'll get a few of those. The biggest outside shots, I think, are probably Big E and Aleister Black, just because of the AEW contract that I mentioned with Aleister. I don't think it's quite up yet, but we'll see. In Big E, the neck injury, although that would be an awesome freaking reaction to see. I think he would, like AJ Lee, he's a fan favorite, and I think he would blow the roof off the place if he was there. So, but outside shots, Orton, I think, will definitely be there, and we'll get some TNA guys in there. Final 4 for the men's Royal Rumble, guys. I think it is going to be John Cena. That's a pretty easy one. CM Punk. That's a pretty easy one, I think, as well. And that'll be a cool moment, just seeing Cena and Punk in the ring again together after all the great matches they've had over their history in WWE with one another. So that will be awesome to see those two guys in the ring together. I think we'll get Roman in there because at the end of the day, it's Roman Reigns. He's going to be in there. Whether you like him, you hate him, Roman's going to be pushed at the top of the card. I don't think he's going to win, but he has a chance to win. And that would be the one outcome, I think, where I'm just like, why? Like, Roman Reigns has won so much. He had the record-breaking world title reign where he's like the 3rd longest reigning champion ever behind, I think, Hulk Hogan and Bruno Sammartino in WWE. So I don't think Roman should win it, but he will be Final 4. And I think with him as that last spot, I think it will be Seth Rollins. again, guys, I don't know if we get too many big returns in the men's match. Maybe if Big E comes back, he's Final Four. If Alistair comes back, I don't think he's going to be Final Four right away. Could be Randy Orton, but then again, do you really want to go CM Punk, Randy Orton, Cena, and Roman, just all old heads? I mean, Seth has been around for a while now too, but Seth still is kind of the generation. I mean, he's a generation of Roman, but he's a little bit before Punk and Cena's era. So I think having two guys in Seth and Roman from the same era, and then two of the older guys from my Ruthless Aggression era in Punk and Cena, I think those guys will be the final four. Um, as far as the winner of this, I am going to say that CM Punk comes out on top, guys. He had the match a couple years ago where he was in the Royal Rumble, and Cody, or no, it was last year, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, that Cody threw him over because they were the last two, and then the was he in two Rumbles? I feel like he was in both because Cody won the last two Rumbles. I can't remember if CM Punk. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you remember. But CM Punk returned in Survivor Series of what, 2 years ago now, and he. I don't think he wrestled his first match until the Rumble the following year. So yeah, CM Punk would have been in both Rumbles. He tore his tricep in the first Rumble he was back in, and then got tossed over. Eventually, Cody won, and then same thing happened last year. They were the final two, and Cody won. So I am fully expecting CM Punk to win this, guys. This was another tough one. I think any of these guys could realistically win it. Cena has a good shot with Triple H's booking style and just watching Black and Gold NXT for so long. I think he's going to try to do something a little more unexpected than Cena coming out and winning, just because Cena would be the very predictable one. Roman would be absolutely stupid. I'm hoping he doesn't do that. But I think this will be a hell of a match, guys. CM Punk will go on. If he wins this, he obviously can challenge the World Heavyweight Champion, or he can challenge Cody Rhodes, who he called out on Monday. If you guys have not seen that, check out my Monday Night Raw review between the Cody Rhodes and CM Punk segment that I thought was freaking awesome. But yeah, CM Punk, I think, will challenge Cody if he wins, like he was talking about on Monday. Although Gunther would be awesome too. Other outcomes here, guys. If Cena does win it, I didn't even give you my sentimental victory. I am going to say for that Cena. Growing up as a big Cena fan, I still have from like Raw in 2007. I still have my Cena dog tags. I still have old John Cena T-shirts, and I'm looking forward to buying a T-shirt here when I go to Monday Night Raw in Cleveland this coming Monday, because I've always been a big Cena fan. As a kid, just his motto, never give up, and everything he stood for always meant a lot to me and all my friends. So seeing him get a huge victory here would be awesome. So that is going to be my sentimental favorite. I think Punk will win. A big CM Punk fan as well, obviously, but just growing up, I was always way more of a Cena guy than a CM Punk guy. So I'm hoping Cena wins, and that would be another awesome feud. I would really like to see Cena versus Cody at WrestleMania, but who knows, guys? Maybe Punk changes his tune if he wins. Maybe he challenges Gunther, or maybe Gunther loses the belt before WrestleMania, and it ends up being freaking maybe Seth Rollins takes the belt off of Gunther at a Elimination Chamber or something, and you get Rollins versus Punk ran back for the title. That would be awesome. I'd throw a stipulation in there if they did that between Punk and Rollins again for the belt at WrestleMania, but either one of those matches would be great. Cena versus Cody is my ideal spot. But as I was saying, if Punk does change his tune and challenge Gunther or Seth or whoever has the belt at that point, Cena could go on and win in Toronto at the Elimination Chamber, and then he could challenge Cody Rhodes, which would be fucking awesome. So that would be the match. That's the one I really want to see. That's one of those huge matches between the biggest face of the company for a 15-year period in John Cena and one of the two biggest faces in the company right now with Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. So seeing Cena versus Cody Rhodes is definitely, in my opinion, your night 2 main event, or night 1 main event, but probably night 2 of WrestleMania if it happens, guys. But looking forward to this Royal Rumble match. I mean, honestly, there's 5 to 6 people in each of the women's and men's matches that I could see winning. Any of my final 4 of the women, Charlotte, Liv, Becky, and Alexa, I could see winning. I could see Bianca winning it again to set up Bianca versus Rhea down the line at WrestleMania, the match that we've wanted for freaking years now. Any of my men's final 4 between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, John Cena, Roman Reigns, I could see winning. If Big E comes back, maybe he wins it. I don't think he has much of a chance as some of the other guys do, but You never know, guys. We have Drew McIntyre in there, who I barely mentioned at all thus far, so he could win it. But this is shaping up to be a good one, guys. I hope everybody else is as excited as I am for this match, or this card, I should say, coming up this weekend, because this is one of the few Royal Rumbles in the last decade, I'd say, that is very unpredictable on both sides. And I am hoping Triple H nails it. I'm hoping we get some more returns. Like I said, he has done a very good job with basically everything, in my opinion. Obviously, the man's not perfect. He's made missteps here and there, namely with some of the women's booking of the feuds that aren't title feuds, in my opinion. We need to get some of the women in some better feuds here. But um, I really think he needs to nail the Royal Rumble, guys. That's been one of his few critiques from a lot of the masses in the IWC and other wrestling fans, is that his last two Royal Rumbles that he's solely been the creative booker for have not been the best as far as surprises and everything go. So I hope he wins it, or I hope he wins it. God, it's time to play the game. Fucking number 30 Triple H, new Hall of Famer, comes out and fucking throws everybody over the top rope. No, I don't hope that happens, guys. I don't hope Triple H wins the Royal Rumble. But I hope he does finally nail the booking for the Royal Rumble match. I think he will. Just have some surprises in there. Like I said, he needs to be able to blend the legends, people coming in to help from TNA to put on a good match, and the people that are actually going to be his final four. You can still have the outcome you want, whether it's Cena, Punk, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, whoever. You can still have the outcome and the winner you want, and take us on a ride along the way, guys. We want to see some cool face-offs. We want to see Cena and CM Punk have a little throwdown in there. We want to see CM Punk and Drew McIntyre have a throwdown. We want to see Seth Rollins and Cena go at it again. We want to see some of these old feuds rehashed. Same thing with the women's guys. I would love to see a fucking Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair face off. And some of these new up and comers, like I'd love to see a Roxanne get a little action in with a Charlotte Flair, or AJ Lee if she returns. Any of these women would be awesome. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. And those are my Royal Rumble predictions for this year's event, Royal Rumble 2025. And if you guys have not already, I did recently start an Instagram page, so I will try to get that linked in my bio here. But if you could give it a like, this video a like, subscribe, and check out my Instagram. I am probably going to try to get a TikTok up here as well, guys, because I want to get some reactions. I'm going to have some people over for the Royal Rumble, so any cool reactions and stuff like that, I will try to get out to you guys. And I will try to be filming a little bit of content. I might even post a couple YouTube shorts on here come Monday for Monday Night Raw in Cleveland. So definitely check it out, guys, and let me know what you think. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next one.